Alright guys, you always ask for proof. I have tons of fucking proof. And if you haven't realized that yet, then you're just stupid. So let's just look at the new one. So here's Johnny Deacon, Brett Maxey, guys. He's meeting in Dubai with this huge fucking player. Him and Crash love each other. He's saying Brett's going to 20, 40 billion dollar market cap. He's just a Brett Maxey, guys. So what did Brett do recently? They tweeted a coin called FOMO, which was a massive pre-sale raise. We heard in the Brett Spaces, which I recorded on video the other day, that Crash acknowledged it happened, and he didn't go warn people. He didn't tell the Brett team to take it off of their Twitter page until after it had launched, until after I had fudded it, and then they deleted their tweet. But everyone still remembers it. The Spaces are still there, where Crash acknowledges that it's on their page. And you don't see anything wrong with a token that I've been calling a scam promoting a rug pre-sale. Like, this is 101, guys. These teams make pump and dumps to fucking funnel their profits back into their main coin so people don't give them any shit. And if they're able to keep the main token alive and a couple others, no one's gonna bat an eye if they promote fucking rug after rug after rug. So, here we go. Right after, this is a few days after the FOMO pre-sale rug. Here you have your Dubai Brett Maxey. This guy's just like so rich, so successful. And he says, "You know what? I'm going to make this stupid fucking coin called I told you guys about this for days leading up to it. I listened to the fucking spaces here. He's probably got it deleted now. If you listen to this spaces right here, listen to him talk. It's like Crash's father. Thesis. A bunch of money coming into base chain. He literally says that this pre-sale base moon is going to hit 500 to 750 million is his prediction, because he thinks it's easy. He doesn't realize you actually have to work hard. You can't just raise a pre-sale, say, hey, I'm associated with Brett, and fucking reap the spoils. So anyways, worst interview I've ever heard. Says it's going 500 to 750 mil. They said that 10% is for the team, 10% is for CEX listings. They shouldn't need a team wallet. They shouldn't need 20% for marketing. So they've already done a bunch of terrible shit. But guess what? They've completely changed the terms of their stuff. So, no, not here. Um, where is it? Oh, there we go. They have completely changed everything. Now it says 50% LP, 30% marketing, 20%. I'm pretty sure it was 60 before. Not 100% sure on that. The marketing I think went up 10 and the team went up 10. Why do they need 20% for the team? The dev who did nothing but piss everybody off. Look at the reactions on this shit. 20 clowns puking, bunch of shit emojis everywhere. No one's happy with this launch. The illustrator, the fucking illustrator of this terrible ass fucking image needs to get 20% team tokens for guys like that. Holy shit. Anyways, I saw it coming from a mile away after FOMO, and I realized these guys are really this dumb. They're gonna make their own pre-sale now under Johnny Deacon's page. And here's my post. I mentioned this thing like 5 times before the launch, guys. I guess I don't have my post saved. We're gonna need to look at that one though. Okay, let's go to my page. Like, this is my post today. Um, I will be beyond shocked if this base moon ruggy ass pre-sale does decent. If so, I have no hope for you anymore, Twitter. The most bearish thing I've ever seen. They've already muted the chat on day one. Chat will reopen tomorrow morning. Look at all these emojis. It's just such a pathetic launch, and Brett team is all over it again. And this is the result so far. So they raised 200K for this thing, and they locked the liquidity for a year. That's the only pre-sale I've seen raise a decent amount that locks it as opposed to burning it, because they're ready to collect that money in a year's time from now. And they know no one's gonna bat an eye or anything, because this project's gonna be long dead, and they're gonna get a little payday from their investors' money for doing nothing. Go listen to that Spaces. You always want concrete proof. Like, what more do you need? I called out the scam before it happened. I've called the scam out for like a week before it launched. And now I'm right. So like, why can't you go back and listen to the fucking video and listen to how he talks? Listen to how he talks about all the money coming to base chain, the airdrops, the same fucking pitch that Crash and all those idiots use. So this is two pre-sales within a week that have been rugged by the Brett team. Like one on their account and one by this guy who they worship and idolize. And then I see this while I was looking for one of his tweets today where he said, you know, apparently this whole thing was to get people into a play under 100 million market cap because they miss Brett. So they do this. If people have ever listened to anything I've said, anytime a team is launching new projects like Pork and their community, it's a fucking bad sign. It's a sign of desperation. They need money to funnel in, and that's the way they do it. They try to make their holders money to encourage them to keep holding and to make them some money to throw back into their failed project. So anyways, my thesis is they will run via L2 incubator base for ease of launch for securities. If you want to farm it, speak to Crypto Dan as he's the main guy around the base ecosystem. Like, I've already fucking showed you guys why this guy's a scammer. He's been involved in scam projects before, NFT projects, have all the proof. I caught him lying 100 times. And this is the guy. This guy posted on my page. Like, let me find that one now. Because people, like, they can't do this research for themselves. I have no idea why. It's not very hard to do any research on anybody, any project, anything. I do it all the time. But this is Crypto Dan. I've caught him fucking up a bunch, and he literally posts on my page that, you know, Brett is a Cabal token. Right here. Yes, Brett is a Cabal coin. I mean, and this is the guy we're trusting. Do you know who the Cabal is? Like Your Pop, Eric Stevens, all those guys. Watch their fucking track records, man. What, like Your Pop, he promoted that fucking FOMO pre-sale. Like, it's all there for you to see. The entire cabal is in a coin called Catfish. They do spaces with Catfish, and they're all there. They're all in on these coins early on, and as soon as they lose interest, they move on. But you guys will never believe me for Crypto Dan. I'll just let him fucking destroy all of you guys before you say, oh yeah, you were right, Caesar. But the fact that he's the main guy around base ecosystem, that's very concerning. Here's another one from this week. Pork with Pepe's a scam. That thing was like a huge pump and dump. That was the third project launched by the Pork team. And now you have a divide between Pork. You have this fucking Shinobi guy or Kenobi, Andrew, and like all these different Pork members have started to launch their own tokens now. And you know, I call it out and I'm right. So there's two tokens on my Twitter within the last week that I've warned you about that I've been right about. And you still want more and more and more proof of my track record. I mean, here's another one. This is okay, that's for something else in a second here. I mean, this was the father of memes one, so they gave their, this is what they do now. Same thing as Crypto Banter and the Gummy launch. They don't give people their tokens until too late. Like, go to Crypto Banter comments for Gummy. All those people who farm the airdrops are saying they can't get their tokens, and no one sees anything wrong with that. They use these guys to bust their ass, engagement farm, make their numbers look a lot better, create a lot more hype around the launch, and then they don't even reward them with airdrops. They change the terms on them last minute, and then most of them can't even get it right now. And no one sees any problem with that. They're just, that's what they're doing on these launches. They're holding these pre-sale tokens captive so they can't sell for profits, and then they're giving them too late. It's just, it's so disgusting. But anyways, I fucking lost it again. 1 second. Like, I don't know how many times I need to fucking be right about something before people just shut up, stop questioning my intentions, and start fucking listening to the only voice of reason that's left in this gosh darn space. So, I'm just gonna find the poly thing real quick. Right here. The fact that you're letting morons like ZachXBT and Polly run loose on Twitter doing the shadiest shit ever without alerting their following. I just met Polly when I did this. I heard him in one Twitter space, and I fudded Polly and I flooded pork right away. So people were saying, once again, they're saying, "Oh, you're mad. You missed Polly's play." It's like, no, I didn't. Here's our admin with the legend tag, bringing it to us at 8 million market cap. It did a 33x, but I'm saying I'm still mad at this play because I don't trust. Like, Maurice is a great judge of character, and he has nothing good to say about Polly. And after I read his tweets, neither did I. And then I heard him on a Twitter space, and I knew right away he was a scammer. And this is one of many, many, many examples. And people are just starting to figure it out now. People are just starting to figure out Polly's full of shit. Why is the pork community so toxic? Why is it so divided? Because their leader is fucking trash. The leader of Brett, they're all fucking trash. They don't have real team members. They don't have real leaders. Same with Roost Coin. These guys come back to chase clout whenever the coin's doing well or they need a little boost. They're not grinding. They're not working. They're not being real developers. They're just fucking hype men, and they're so fucking brain dead. Anyways, that was the project. Oh, where do we start here? I mean, we got some, you guys are gonna think I have a tinfoil hat on, but let's please be reminded. I've been talking about Andrew Tate and his connection to Crypto Dan, his connection to the base chain, and people said I was delusional. Well, Andrew Tate's supporting Roost now. Not only is it on base, which I said Andrew Tate was working with, but it's also, I'll pull this up now too actually, but it's also a fucking scam. And I don't know if you guys remember when he said like the white people thing. I don't know how to search page specifics. But Andrew Tate said something about white people several days back, how they're gonna get enslaved and how they need to have more kids and white people are basically fucked. Like, this guy's got some weird agendas, man. Him and his brother keep pushing Trump. I don't know what that's all about. They keep pushing base chain, and base chain's all about KYC and exposing people's info. I don't know what that's all about, but I wish I could find this fucking white thing. I mean, you can scroll on your own or take my word for it. I don't know why I would lie about this, but very interesting that. Okay, I could probably just do this. Fuck. Alright, well, I'm failing on this one, but it is on there. He like says white people are about to be enslaved and they're doomed and all this stuff. And like, look at Friendtech and what happened with Friendtech. Look at this. The official Twitter editor published a message in Chinese. It says this app is only for rich people. Or no, that's actually on there. That's not even the Chinese part. Um. Oh yeah, when Friendtech V2 is released, make sure to take all the white people's money as an opening. And they posted in Chinese, and apparently it was hacked. Friendtech has already been exposed before, and 100,000 people's information got doxxed, KYC, all that stuff. Every influencer on base works with Bybit, and Bybit demands KYC for their exchange. Friendtech, they have your personal information as well. And then there's this weird connection between Friendtech and Base, who's trying to bring Friendtech back, and Andrew Tate. And if you go through the Friendtech Twitter, you see messages like this all the time. This app is only for rich people. Please sort yourselves accordingly. Like, who talks like that? Just fucking toxic dickheads, man. It's so pathetic. So, I mean, that's proof of another scam that the Brett team was involved in. Like I've been saying, nothing but shady stuff around that whole thing. But it goes deeper than that, and this is where we can go, tinfoil hat on each other here, I guess. But what I think has happened, okay? I think with Ethereum and Vitalik, like Vitalik never really supported any tokens too hard. Like he talked about Tyrant, but he never went balls to the wall. He was always very careful of that. He's always dumping his bags when you send them to him and stuff. So it's like, okay, he's different. But Solana comes out, and there's tweets from the Solana team saying they would support Solana meme coins to an extent or whatever. And then all of a sudden this Ansem guy pops up. And all of a sudden, Raj and Toli, they start interacting with coins like Myro and start pumping them based on their interactions. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, that's cool. Hopefully they don't overdo it. And sure enough, within a couple weeks, they were supporting multiple Solana coins. And as soon as it got down to Solana Beach, I was like, I'm done with these guys. Like, why are you supporting shit coins that are 2 hours old? You don't even know who the developer is. You have a lot of impact on the charts, and you're willing to risk that on pure shit. So, it just seemed like a big ploy to get everyone over to the Solana chain because they knew if they interacted with some of the coins there, that the prices would pump, people would get excited, people would start launching on there more and more, and the price of Solana would go up. So they got a bunch of influencers together, kind of leaked them their plan. I don't know if they created Ansem or Ansem was around before. I don't even want to look into that dirtbag. But it's like, this is what they did. And they drove people to the Solana chain by supporting the coins and helping them pump and started this whole craze. And you know what? So far, so good. I don't have too many complaints with how Solana's played out. It's been good for a lot of people. It's, giving people faith in community coins again and memes and all that. It's like, sure. But then Base has started to do that now, and lots of other coins. You see the Ton chain. The Ton chain owner literally is like has a deal worked out with Crash that he's gonna start supporting chains on Ton, and he's like reposting fucking Crash's tweets. Crash was a nobody for years, guys. And this is all part of the trend, something you have to understand. What Base has done is they found a bunch of shady people like Crypto Dan, Brian Sumner, Drew, Crash, all these shady actors. And they're like, based on what we see, these guys are dirty enough, we can probably flip them to our side. So they feed this Crypto Dan guy Toshi early. They fed it to like 20 YouTubers who you've never heard of in your life. And every single one of them had the same spiel. Base is going to be onboarding so much money. Base is going to have an airdrop. The Base team's going to start supporting these coins. They all had the same spiel, but they all kind of acted like, oh, it's speculation though. Like, we don't know for sure, but like, this is what we think's going to happen. Because they got leaked all that stuff from Base. And it's like, go look at the first 20 people who called Toshi. They never existed before. They're completely irrelevant before. They never made it. Or they were just trying to make it for a couple years and went absolutely nowhere because they sucked at what they did and they had scamming tendencies. So these are the people that Base decided to give the first alpha to of the first coin they're going to help push. And now Toshi looks more and more scammy every single day. And now you have Roost. Now what is my problem with Roost, guys? I have a million. But what's the main problem? If you go back to the first spaces, the dev team says it's going to be a 24-hour, pre-sale. Then they're going to close it. And 50% is going to go to LP, 50% to pre-sale. After they raised $13 million, they changed everything about the token. And 15% went into liquidity. Team tokens existed, which they said wasn't going to happen. And it's like, do you not see the problem with someone? Oh, they also extended the raise so they could raise more and more money because they were so excited at how much money they were raising. And it's like, do you not see the problem with a team having a certain white paper laid out? It's actually fraud. I mean, the SEC, they'll be all over that Roost project. But anyways, do you not see the problem with saying this is the terms of this pre-sale, and then as soon as the money is raised, it's like, oh, actually, it's this now? Like, do you see the people involved? This Devin guy who runs spaces, this Brian Sumner guy. Like, Brian Sumner's a scammer. There's a long track record of it. He did Galaxy Heroes or whatever the hell that name was. He came to me for about 10 projects. I said no every single time. This Devin guy, he was part of the biggest rug in 2022. It was called Angel Dust, and he was one of the core team members. And this is the guy speaking at roof spaces. Like, put it together, people. Come on. Anyways, the base team supported Roost several times now. Jesse Pollock, all of these guys, like, all of their integrity is in question right now. So, Crash is the same. I mean, everyone likes to think he's some fucking amazing caller. It's like, go look at Crash before Brett. He was a nobody. Do you think a nobody got a lot of people to buy Brett the same day he did? No, he just made his fancy little video. And the video blew up after the fact, after Brett had already started pumping. So, that's what they do. They pick all these dumb frontmen, and I'm pretty sure these guys are going to take the fall for it all. I mean, Andrew Tate, I don't think he's going to go down. I think it's going to be Crypto Dan, Crash, who else? Maybe this fucking Johnny Deacon guy. Like, I don't know who's all going to go down for these guys, but to me, these are their perfect frontmen. Just dumb kids who don't know any better, who don't see the whole picture. And everything about base has been sketchy so far. They've had big pre-sale rugs. They had a $1.8 million rug the other day from an exploit that wouldn't have been possible on Solana. I've heard. I haven't confirmed it. And their whole principle is based on this huge airdrop that's going to come and bring $40 billion into base. For one, that's an insane amount of money for people to just start shitcoining with. And for two, that's not how it works. Airdrops don't bring in tons of extra money, you fucking fools. Airdrops come out of thin air, get dropped to people, and now they have stake in the game, which they had no stake in before that. So it's not going to bring in all this fantasy money that they tell you. And here's an example of people, supporting, what's this? Like, here's an example of people, like, setting up new callers. Look at this. This is Ran. Some of you are still not following 0x Rabia. Literally free alpha. Okay? So now this girl's got clout. She's posting her Dubai pictures. She's pretending she's, like, super into crypto. Why don't you scroll down to the bottom of her page like I did? March 21st. She has no fucking alpha on this entire page. There's no calls, there's no education, there's literally nothing. Oh, she read the Bitcoin Standard book by Michael Saylor. Like, she knows her shit, man. There's zero proof of her fucking knowing her shit, but oh, she tells us about the Dubai event. I mean, that's great. That's some great alpha there. So, like, an account created March 21st, and I'm just supposed to believe, oh yeah, this girl's gonna show us alpha now. And that's what they do. Like, Base has literally set up a bunch of people who nobody ever heard about before. And, they're all shilling the biggest base rugs I've ever seen. And getting no backlash for it. But if you start to see the whole picture, and you realize they all want KYC, Coinbase has a big, court case coming up. And if you look into the reasons why, I mean, they're taking their own customers' money. They're supposed to be getting rewarded for the staking that Base does, and they're not. They're literally getting manipulated by the own Base. Like, they're getting manipulated by Base Chain, pretending that they're gonna reward their holders with staking rewards, and they didn't do it. And how many people's money have been locked up in Base Chain? Like, if Base ever became half as popular as Solana, watch how many people would cry that their money's stuck on Base. And then their money's stuck for a week. It's like, oh, no big deal. But it is. Because that's a bunch of money that they can use to fucking do shorts and longs and manipulate the markets even further. So, I don't know how to put the whole picture for you together quite yet. If you don't start to see the trends that everyone on Base wants KYC, all of, Base's success is based on information that they leaked to a bunch of no-names early on to spread around. If you don't see the problem in that, if you don't see the problem with Roost changing the pre-sale terms, that stupid rug I called out changing their pre-sale terms, I mean, I don't quite know how to get this picture across to you anymore. But yeah, real quick, I thought this one was funny. While I was looking for some of the call-outs I did. So this guy, he's in tight with Brad and whatever else. He says, "Oh no, guys, he's coming to Dubai. Run. If I were you, I'd be scared shitless right now with a devil face." So this is what I said. If they were good, which I mean like the cabal and the people I've been targeting, if they were good, trustworthy people, then why would I have to be scared of them? And that's a great point because you're acting like they're honest, legitimate dudes and, trustworthy and all this. So why would I ever have to be scared of them if that was the case? I should feel completely safe because these guys are so trustworthy and based, right? And why would they be angry at me? If I was spewing a bunch of shit and I was irrelevant and I was wrong, why would they be angry enough to have me scared? Doesn't make much sense. But yeah, guys, I mean, I thought this video would go a little bit better. It's very hard to explain to you the scope of this thing, but just please look for the patterns. Please look for the cabal, who they're involved with, who they start supporting, which friends, and watch these random influencers pop up with brand new accounts between 1 month to 4 month old, and people start to talk like they're some alpha people. And then all of a sudden they get dropped a few plays and they blow up because of it, but they're literally plants and they're front men. And by the way, like, if you're still questioning me, I beat Vitalik's dad so badly with Hemule. Ask around. I was on Twitter, every influencer bailed on Hemule, and I was fighting Vitalik's dad on my page, back and forward, absolutely destroying him. 500k to 80 mil Hemule after that fight. I'm not saying my fight is what caused that. It was all the team who took over in the community. But that's what I do when I know I'm right. And this is me calling out Zach XBT. I've already gone at Zach XBT. This guy's supposed to be the blockchain expert. He tells us over 1 month and here's all the rugs on Solana. He didn't call any of these out beforehand. He didn't warn people, hey, like, don't buy any of these. That was me. Because I have fucking way better insight on the market than this guy does. This guy comes out, tries to look like a hero on public information that everybody already knows. It's like, why don't you fucking tell them as soon as Book of Memes came out like I did? And not only that, this guy's apparently so good, right? He fudded Grok for being a scam. I went right at him to explain to him why Grok wasn't a scam. And it went down to 30 million market cap. A bunch of fucking shorts came in. I wonder who placed those. A bunch of longs came in. I wonder who placed those. And then Grok was 400 mil a couple weeks later after this fucking idiot calls it a scam. So I have the proof to back up what I say. Go to my gambles page. Take a look at what I call out. I called out Slurf AI as a scam. It was a scam. I called out Dinosoul. They raised $1 million. It was a scam. I called out the $38 million pre-sale raise. It was a scam. No one else has even fucking 10% of a track record I do in terms of my consistency going against everybody and being right time and time again. So if you want proof, go back and look at my fucking page. I'm not doing the work for you anymore. This is what I do. I know the market better than all of you. Now just shut up, listen, watch for the patterns, and do your part to get this information out there. Take care.